But this is a controversial subject I want to talk about, and that's what California is doing right now with their tax incentives. So right now, California is saying that if you do not make your film crew diverse enough, we are not giving you tax incentives. So they're releasing this now. This is something new that's happening. So there's only a 4% tax incentive that California does give out to their crew or to their productions. So 4% of your actual budget. Okay, cool. But they're saying that under this new proposal that the Newsom put out there, that productions that fail to meet the diversity goals will lose 4% of their tax credit allocation. This is a 5-year extension of the state's $330 million tax credit they're putting out there right now. Productions that receive the credit would be required to submit a diversity work plan, which under this must commit to hire crew that is broadly reflective of the state's demographics. All right. So, I mean, on paper, it sounds right. You know what I mean? But they're going to, if they fail to make good faith attempt to meet the hiring goals or fail to submit a plan, the California Film Commission will deduct 4% from their budget, apparently. And they said it has to be based off race, ethnicity, disability status, and gender in order to have a crew that is more diverse. So when I heard about this, the one thing I think, though, my only worry about this is, I get it. On paper, it sounds great. Everybody should have an opportunity. Of course, 100% across the board. But the thing is, though, some producers might just walk away from California. I mean, if you think about it, like if you're trying to tell them how to hire people, some people, they're already leaving. People are already leaving California. So, I mean, they're talking about trying to bring film back. Some people might get mad about this. Honestly, that's how this world works right now. Don't tell me who to hire, you know? Or there's also people that maybe could do the job better than somebody else. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go into this. For me, honestly, on paper, it sounds smart. Like, oh yeah, you're trying to help, like make it an even keel, open field. But I just think it could cause problems with producers and with the state and with already our productions that are leaving the state. Because most goes other states is because there's better tax incentives as it is. So now you're saying I'm get that measly 4%, people might leave. Mike, you hear about this. Do you think this is going to affect the film industry here in California, or do you think that it will be fine and it won't be a big deal?
That's an interesting thought that you're bringing. Like, if you want to hire white people, fuck off back to Virginia. Like they got great incentives too. Like that's awesome. I'm wondering, is it are the incentives like are they scheduled so that you like you're hiring the number of people that are representative of the actual demographics?
Yes, yeah, based off of the
Okay.
California state demographics. So broken down by how many people are, each ethnicity, each
Okay.
gender, each disability, you have to have a certain percentage.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's it seems like they're trying to enact a progressive agenda, which I think it's really good to be proactive about. I'm remiss to have this conversation with three cisgendered white men.
I know, right?
Because
I know.
I think that the internet is
Mm,
probably full of these kinds of discussions.
a lot.
Um, so I just want to say that anything that's is giving people opportunities that may not have had opportunities due to unfair systems.
Yeah.
Like I'm for that, and I understand that that can be challenging in different ways. But in terms of the thing that you were saying, like, oh, maybe producers won't be as inclined to spend their money in LA, like that is exactly the kind of leverage that I think that we should be working on. Say, oh, tough, you don't want our business the way that we want to share it with you, like because we're trying to move forward as a species, as a group of people, then get out of here because we've got good stuff and people will come that want the good stuff that we have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. But the thing is, like, there's been a lot of people leaving California. That's my only worry. That's why I said there's been a lot of productions that are going away. There's so many generations of people that have worked in this industry for years
That's,
and
I mean,
years and years.
a lot of that has to do with property values, though, too, right? And
It does.
about
It
other
does.
things that are maybe affecting what those property values are. And
But producers
I
are
would,
always looking to save a buck, though, too, Mike. They're always looking to save a buck.
of course,
They
they
can
are.
find a way to leave. They will leave. Like Georgia, I don't think it's going to affect Georgia. People are still going to go
Oh,
to Georgia because the
did I
tax
say
incentives.
I said Virginia before I meant Georgia,
No,
right?
it's fine. But I'm saying I don't think that's
Georgia.
going to stop people from going to Georgia because the tax incentives are so much better, and it's a right to work state, so they're cheaper across the board. So that's why I'm like
Georgia
this is
doesn't
totally.
have you, Brian. That's what the producers
That's true.
need. They need you
But
in LA busting your ass. Like that's what their production really needs.
that's I mean that they do need me. But all I'm saying is like, all I'm saying is that like I just that I have to look at both sides. I just worry about film in general, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, most sets are already very diverse, so that's the thing. Like most people, most crews are, across the board. And you work on a set, most are very diverse here in California, so it might not affect anything.
Good. Then
It might not affect anything,
right? Yeah.
I just worry about producers trying to like fire people and putting money in their pocket, you know what I mean, or something like that. That shit happens. There's shenanigans all the time. You're going to show if you're under budget. A UPM a lot of times gives themselves a benefit. They'll pocket money. They'll find ways to pocket money. I just look at the business side. This might make ways for them to put money in their pockets sometimes. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Jake, do you think this will affect the film industry negatively here in California, or do you think this is it'll be fine and it'll be the same, but business as normal?
Oh, it's hard to say. Like Mike said, that sounds like they're trying. And anytime you have an idea like this, you have to pursue it, but you have to pursue with caution, because if you're going to, as soon as you force somebody to, in the name of equity, sometimes you make it unequal, because if you're going to offer this to somebody by right, essentially, then somebody else isn't going to get it. Now, whoever that is, it could go anyway. So I think, their heart's in the right place, but like it's just, what is the ultimate outcome of it? And it might just be a tax incentive, because like you said, all of these productions are probably already diverse and they probably already qualify. So
yeah,
if that's the case, then it's just a way to give some money back and put it on paper, have a paper trail for the reason for it,
And maybe some that aren't, well, maybe whip them into shape. You never know. They might just need that 4%, especially some low budget stuff that shoots. You know what I mean? They might just need that extra money.
That would affect low budget stuff, because then that's a lot of like personal contacts and friendship relations. So you could see that maybe being a little bit more stratified in terms of race, maybe like so.
For sure,
that would be a good encouragement for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was just very interesting. This was actually moving forward. Like I heard this, and they're talking about how they have more productions coming this year. They have higher productions that are coming to California than any year before, and they're expecting to spend more money towards tax incentives because of that, which is good. We need more jobs here. We just need more jobs. A lot of times they cut. It's funny. We had the governor for a long time as our governor. And he never added tax incentives that would actually keep people here. It's just like, doesn't make sense to me. You think you have an actor. Now we have the Newsom, and the Newsom, he's not really been doing shit for us either. So I just hope that he just brings more jobs here for the people that work in Hollywood, because we're Hollywood, right? We're fucking Hollywood. Everyone says you're supposed to be making the most jobs here, right? We have everybody in the world that makes movies here in Hollywood.
The money is there, Brian.
That's there.
Don't worry.
Existential crisis. When you realize it's not exactly what it looks like before you go.
At the end of the day, though, I hope this leads to a good thing in California, and helps out people that maybe haven't had a chance. But also, I hope it doesn't affect the film industry unless it affects it in a positive way.
Positive way, right?